All right, so just for a little educational to see, and it's a lot easier if you have somebody looking for the problem area. But what is this? 3 and 9. Wiggle back and forth. You can hear. I don't know if you can pick it up there. There's something loose. So tie rod. Normally 3 to 9. When you shake it, you are shaking your tie rods, your steering components, I would say. Going the components back from wheel to steering wheel. I'm going to say is what you're shaking 3 to 9. Inner outer tie rods, pitman arm, drag link, not so much drag link, but center link, all that good stuff. Then your other position is 12 and 6. Are y'all picking that up? Can you see that? Yeah, I'll try right there. All right, so normally 12 and 6, that is how you're going to check for your wheel bearing. So as you jack the wheel up, wheel bearing's kind of sloppy. The wheel will kick inwards. So when you grab it 12 and 6, that is what you're doing. You are taking the slop, moving the slop around in your wheel bearings. Now, sometimes if you grab a pry bar, thought I had it over there. If you grab a pry bar and do it from underneath, that should be ball joints. Now, if something's really bad, it may register in both positions. So I would show underneath, but it's a little dark. But maybe. And I'll also use this later on to see what I see, but all right, so that, and that. So that is what I'm here tonight trying to fix. So we're going to do, like I said, if you got a buddy, while you're wiggling it, somebody could be on the inside tracking down exactly what has play in it. Is that moving at the wheel bearings? Is that moving at the ball joints? Is that moving at the tie rods? If this was a customer's car, I would have somebody come out here and look for that, because I want to replace what's worn out. I don't want to just say, hey, you need all of it. Now, this being my truck, it's sitting for so long, it's got 311,000 miles on there. I'm okay with starting over with a clean slate. If you know something's loose and you have somebody to give you a hand and look, and he can't find it, have them wiggle it. Wiggling it is very easy, but actually trying to find which joint is worn out maybe is a little difficult, right? My 3 to 9 position, I can hear something is loose or worn out, but it sounds like it's very little compared to the wheel hub / ball joints. So trying to pinpoint which one of those joints, is it on this side? Is it on the other side? Is it up at the pitman arm? Which one is it? I don't know. I'm on the outside. I can't see what's on the inside while I'm shaking. So if need be, grab a buddy, have them wiggle it or have them look, pinpoint which one it is, and then fix what's broken. Or fix them all. If they're all fixed and brand new, they're all tight. So, all right, I just wanted to show that little tech tip tech tip not on a Tuesday. Could be. Depends on when I upload it. Because it's Saturday. Alright. Let's get to it. Or back to it. Let's get back to it. I still got to pull the hubs and all off. Alright. That's enough. I had to break out the old block of wood and sledgehammer to get these wheels off. Alright, so got the caliper off, caliper mounting bracket, got the rotor off, pads off. I took it off all separately so I can clean it and grease the side pins and all when I put it all back, so I don't have to worry about it. Probably couldn't see it in the time lapse, but the rotor was stuck on there enough that when I gave it a wiggle, I could actually see the top ball joint moving. So definitely an issue, but since you're going in to do one, I always replace them as a pair. Wheel hub did seem pretty tight. That may not be an issue. Could just be, I don't know if you can see that. Having the top ball joint moving. But I got new ones and this thing was all rusted. I had to use the dead blow hammer here. I use this to beat the back of the rotor. Should see that in the time lapse, but I use that to beat the back of the rotor so I don't damage it. So that rotor's still usable. If it came down to it, I would have to break out the normal metal sledgehammer to knock it off, and then I would need a new rotor. So trying to salvage what I can for the most part. Here's the wheel speed sensor. So I still need to take this inner fender off and track down that wire, see what's going on. If not, I'll have to take hopefully that bolt out, this wheel speed sensor comes out, and then reuse that until I get a connector. Obviously the new one will come with a connector for the hub side. I just don't have a connector for the truck side. So alright, let's get this nut off, and then we're going to break these 4 bolts loose, pull the hub off. Once the hub's off, then we will pull the 2 nuts for the knuckle, pull the knuckle off, place the ball joints, and then put it all back together. Some people just don't have finesse. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so got the knuckle off, got the tie rod off, got the hub off. Really weird. Both of these nuts were really loose. A lot looser than I thought they would be. Like, even to get the knuckle to separate off the ball joint didn't even take that much whacking. You see there, that was loose. They do, even the new ones do go up and down like so, but they're not supposed to wiggle. But nonetheless, that was the problem child. Bottom one's nice and tight. Probably doesn't need to be rebuilt or replaced, but I'm gonna put one with a grease fitting. Yeah, things are extremely tight that shouldn't be that tight, and things that should be really tight are really loose. So, you know, I haven't been going to the gym. It's not me. This is, I don't want to say whooping my butt. It's just unnecessary. It's alright. Let's get the ball joint press. Get these out. Snap ring pliers. Nothing special so far. I think it was 30 on the bottom ball joint nut, 21 on the top ball joint nut, hammer, 21 on the tie rod nut, 18 on the hub bolts, and then that inch and 11/16 For the axle nut, axle came out. Axle looked good. U-joint seemed alright. Still seems tight. Need to somewhere look at the four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive's not engaging, but I'll worry about that later. Other than that, I think that's it. I'm gonna leave the tie rod system and all up for right now. Do this ball joint, wheel hub, move to the other side, ball joint, wheel hub. At that point, the tie rod system is going to be down. I just need to undo the shock and then undo it from the pitman arm. And then I'm going to leave it attached. And my replacement is also one complete assembly. So I'll lay it all on the ground, get measurements, set the new one up as close as I possibly can to those measurements, and then hopefully that's close enough until I get it aligned. Yeah, so that's it. Ball joint press, ball joints out, ball joints in, put it all back together, cleaning, greasing as we go, and then repeat to the other side, which hopefully is not as bad, but we'll see. Definitely not holding my breath. All right, let me get some tools. So, brakes on. I put the caliper mount bracket in the parts washer, cleaned it all up, got all the old grease out of it. Brake cleaned the slide plates, slide pins, and the bracket itself. Cleaned it all up, brake clean, and then re-greased the slide pins. I do not grease the mounting points. I do not grease the caliper to the pads. The only thing I grease when I do brake jobs is the slide pins. I used to work at the dealership. Brand new cars, first time in, checking them out. The only thing they grease is the slide pins. So if you have issues and you need to grease everything, it's either you're buying cheap parts, don't know what you're doing, or your buddy said to do it that way. But at the end of the day, grease will collect brake dust and dirt and grime. As soon as that gets on this system, now it doesn't want to move freely, and you start having issues, premature brake pad wear, rotor problems, overheating. It's not worth it. Just clean it. All this, these slide plates, they have like a slick coating on them. Clean it. The pads where they ride on that, just make sure they're clean. Make sure when you're building this, you're putting all this together, make sure the pads move freely on that slide plate. If the pads move freely, the pins move freely, then your caliper moves freely, you won't have a problem. And there's nothing here wet that will collect brake dust, dirt, grime, anything like that. Dust boot, make sure they're sealed, not ripped or torn, or you're going to cause a problem there also. Moisture and dirt getting inside, and then you got a big problem on your hands. So grease the pen, everything else clean and dry. Never issue. That's how I did it at the dealership. That's how I did it at independent shops. Never a problem. Never, hey, my brakes are chattering or my brakes are squealing, blah, blah, blah. Quality parts and not over greasing everything to collect dust and cause a problem. Tech tip, I don't even know what day it is. Saturday, 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. I don't even know where my phone is. So, one side done. I'm going to do the driver's side. Leaving the wheel off for right now because I'll do the tie rods after I do driver's side ball joints. Hopefully that side feels the same as this side, and it's not I have to do a wheel bearing, and it's just I have to do ball joints. Late night. All the funds. All right. Let's keep going. All right. So, see, truck's all done. I didn't bother showing the other side because it's the same. Just take everything apart, put it all back together. I also went ahead and did the tie rods assembly, one whole kit. So those two were already loose doing the ball joints. Took the one out for the pivot arm, took the stabilizer shock off. That comes down as one piece. Grabbed the new one, measured everything up. Pretty close. There was so much slop in the wheel before I even started. Now the wheel's tight and it's not level. I can adjust it, but I'm just going to get it aligned. It's not level, but she drives pretty good. So yeah, that's it for this one. Well, for now. I got get it inspected in a couple days, and then alrighty. See y'all in the next one. Oh, I think I started around 8 o'clock at night, give or take. It is now 2:50 in the morning. I'm tired, and I'm going to bed. Y'all have a good one.